Salutations, this is Mookie's back with another episode of Not RWBY Rewatch. Today we're just going to be looking at the RWBY Volume 8 teaser trailer, and then I think in the same video I'm going to do the actual trailer. They're pretty much largely the same thing. I have thoughts. Let's get into it after watching the first teaser trailer. I hate cars. After watching the first teaser trailer. Let's go.
Atlas is only Salem's current target. She's not hiding anymore, and once she's done here, she'll move on to the rest of Remnant. We need to warn them!
Where's Yang going?
There are people here who need us right now.
But this isn't about just Atlas. It's about all of Remnant.
You're still worried about Mantle? Salem will destroy Atlas, and with it, any hope humanity has left.
They keep doing that laser shot over and over.
I have questions for you.
For me?
But first
I want to see the rest of that girl's face. November 7th, that's so close. Today is October 16th. We are so close. Okay, let's rewatch that trailer, but pausing it so I have time to actually discuss the parts of it instead of just staring at it. Okay. So first we
Atlas
have
is only Salem's
the giant
current
grim,
target.
inspired by Monstro. I believe his name is from Pinocchio. That's a big ass grim. When that came at the end of Volume 7, I was shooketh, and I still kind of am, especially because you can see how enormous its head is, and its mouth is at the very bottom with all those grim teeth, right? And then it has Evernight Castle and the Land of, I guess, is the Land of Darkness on its back? Or is that just a part of it? We don't know. I don't know. Let's see.
She's not hiding anymore, and once she's done here...
So, Salem is sitting on the throne. It is definitely a throne befitting Salem's style. Like, she's grim. Not to make a pun. Well, fuck it. Let's make a pun. She's very grim in her style and aesthetic. She's basically a goth. Like, and you can clearly see that her aesthetic is bone, and especially because we see on her arms, on her arm cuffs, she has bone cuffs that are baller, kind of. She's just chilling there on her throne. I wonder why she's not wreaking havoc on Atlas, unless she's already done that and she's just, just taking a moment to take it all in and enjoy the chaos she's caused. Or she's letting her grim do all that.
She'll move on to the rest of Remnant
after Atlas, according to RWBY, which is obviously makes sense. Where is Yang going?
We need to warn them.
Okay.
There are people here who need us right.
So if we pause it here, we can see Yang, Jean, and Ren are chasing after that grim. And if you look closely, it looks like that grim is carrying something. And we saw earlier that Oscar is, or was, with that team. So, at the very least, he was on Yang's bike, right? He was on Yang's bike. So if he's not with Yang here, and he's not with Oscar, or if he's not with Jean or Ren, where he be? Probably in that Grim's clutches.
Now.
But this isn't about just Atlas. It's about...
Okay, so we have Team RWBY minus Yang, but with Penny and Nora instead. What would their team name be? I'm not even going to attempt to, figure that out. I'll leave that to you folks. Because I'd be here all night. RWBY, Blake, and Nora are not about it. They're not having it. Whoever this is, they're ready to fuck him up. Or fuck her up. Fuck them up, honestly. And why is she's gleeful. She's ecstatic to destroy whoever this person is. I love we can see the little colors of the dust in her revolver chamber in Merton Aster as well. Penny is apprehensive. She's not as excited about fighting them. I assume that maybe she knows the person, or maybe she isn't interested in fighting whoever this person might be, but she also knows that RWBY wouldn't pick a fight with somebody that didn't deserve it. Or it kind of feels like Penny's torn. She doesn't want to fight this person, but she also wants to trust RWBY's lead, so she's looking to RWBY uncertainly. and she just doesn't know how to react. You can see that sort of hesitation in her expression and the way her hand is lifted up a little bit, as though to pause out and say, wait, hold up, don't, are we really about to do this? So I want to see who is on the other end of this shot, and if we agree with Weiss and Ruby and Nora and Blake in that we want to fuck that person up, or if we agree with Penny in that maybe we should hold off and maybe this person can be an ally. Come to think of it, I'm thinking maybe Penny knows who Watts is. I don't know if she explicitly mentioned it, but like he was on the same team with on the same scientific team with Pietro Palladino, Penny's father / creator. So maybe she's aware of who she is, or who Watts is, Arthur Watts, and she doesn't want to like actually destroy him because he has ties to her father. But the rest of Team RWBY plus Nora and minus Yang, maybe they know who Watts is and what he's capable of. And Penny has that sort of not attachment, but she has that sort of connection to Watts through her father because they're on the same team. And Penny doesn't seem the type of person to hold grudges, even with Cinder, when Cinder ripped her to shreds, or had Pierre rip her to shreds, Penny was upset about it, but she wasn't trying to like full out kill Cinder. You know what I mean? She restrained herself. She was there to protect Winter and Freya from Cinder, as opposed to going after Cinder for her own vendetta type of thing. Let's see what else. So my personal hypothesis is that maybe Watts is out of his jail cell, because we see in the other trailer, the full trailer, that he's in a jail cell. Maybe he's out of his jail cell in this shot, and Penny's not ecstatic about attacking him, but Weiss, I was about to say Winter, but Weiss knows who Watts is specifically, and she wants to fuck him up, especially because of his relation to Jacques, or Jackass She, and the rest of Team RWBY plus Nora know who he is, and they're not about him either. So that's my hypothesis on who is on the other end of their thing. They're probably coercing him into, or not coercing him, but like probably ready to fuck him up if he doesn't cooperate with helping Atlas or Mantle or whatever, giving them info against Salem, whatever it may be.
All of Remnant.
So Penny and RWBY hugged.
You're still worried about
Watts, that's not Watts. General James Ironwood is still very much an antagonist right now. He's not about helping Team RWBY. He's not. I'm just looking at the shot of the Aesops and Clover's not
Mantle?
here. I don't even know if they know what happened to Clover yet. I don't know if they know that yet. And if they did, what if they're just, professionals, in that they weren't friends like they said, but they were coworkers. They're not a family, but maybe this is just professional, not discourtesy, but professionalism just in general. Like professional dispassion. They're just about their business and they're about their job. They don't have time to warn him. I think that's what's going on here. Ironwood is still not happy about Atlas or Mantle being the focus of Team RWBY's thing. So that's what's going on here.
Salem will destroy Atlas.
Cinder. Salem will destroy Atlas, and with it any hope of humanity has left. We see Cinder here. What is she looking at? Why is she so... I don't think it's pensive, more determined. But she is calculating, I think is the term, because you can see her eye moving like this, right? And she's just analyzing her chances and calculating whether or not she has a chance to do what she needs to do, or if she's going to be successful in it.
And with it,
we see Salem holding onto the lamp of knowledge with Jin inside. I wonder if Jin will make an appearance, and if so, how she personally feels about Salem, if she has any personal feelings. Because Jin knows all about her, so this is not someone that Salem can intimidate or, like, coerce into doing whatever she wants. Like, I imagine Jin will answer one question because that's all that's left, regardless of who asks it. But we have seen Jin to show a little bit of discretion in terms of how she engages with the reason for her existence, which is to answer the questions for those who seek knowledge, since she is the lamp of knowledge and all that. We saw that back in, I don't know if it was Seeing Red or RWBY, episodes 12 or 13, I think, of Volume 6, or chapters 12 and 13 of Volume 6. One of those two. I think it was RWBY, chapter 13, the finale. When RWBY was staring down that giant Leviathan Grim, and she screamed out Jin's name because she needed a little bit of time and she didn't have any questions for her. And Jin was like, okay, I'll allow you to do this just once, but you will never, ever again use me in this way, even if it was clever. And she showed a little bit of warmth and, like, what's the word I'm looking for? She showed a little bit of favor for RWBY. So I think Jin has a little bit of discretion, so I want to see how she sees if Salem was the one to ask the last question for this 100-year period. I want to see how Jin reacts to Salem.
Any hope humanity has left.
And they keep getting this scene of Penny closing her eyes, and then the flames of the energy of the maiden power is just popping up when she... Oh, my eyes are green. Oh, it's because of... It's... You know what? I'm the Winter Maiden now. It's because of the green on the screen reflected. I was like, why is it doing that? That is the earbuds for these for a second. My fondest ears. Yeah, so we keep seeing this shot over and over. We see it again in the proper trailer, and I like it, and it's a good shot, but, like, it feels repetitive, like, again and again and again. That's my thoughts on it, but it's still a very good shot, and I want to see who is causing Penny to activate her maiden powers and who she's trying to show power against. And I love the concept of Penny being the maiden, which we'll probably get to in my RWBY rewatch series whenever I get to Volume 7, which is probably going to be a million years from now since I'm only on Volume 2. I'll probably be doing reviews and live vlogs not live vlogs, but, like, live viewings of Volume 8 as it happens, because I don't want to miss the zeitgeist of it all. So that's what Penny's doing right now. RWBY Volume 8.
I have questions for you. But first I need the one who can show me how.
So who's going to be the one to show her how? Based on the fact that this Grim is probably the same Grim that was flying away from... I think this is like a monkey, like one of those winged monkeys, like from... Was it Volume 5, the end of Volume 5 she was making it? Or Volume 6? Because we didn't have an end credit scene in Volume 7, because it was 5 years after Bonte passed. And I think it was the Volume 6 one. Because, yes, it was the Volume 6 one, because Volume 5 was Raven's feather being there at the end for wherever Tai was on Patch. And then Volume 6 was the one where she's creating all those Grims and giving the monkey Grims, or gorillas, I guess, whatever they are, and giving them monkey wings as an allusion to her being the Wicked Witch of the West, and those monkey-tailed, or those winged monkeys. I think this is one of those Grims, and it's sniffing. It seems to be like a tracker Grim. It's sniffing the Lamp of Knowledge, sniffing Jin, and it's gonna find who I believe, and I think a lot of people believe, to be Oscar, because Oscar has Ozpin in him. Ozpin is the one who was handling all these sort of things, and we see that Yang, Jean, and Ren were looking for a Grim, or like hunting down a flying Grim, which could have been the flying monkey, and we see that Oscar's not with them, so I'm assuming that this Grim hunted down Oscar and stole him to bring him to Salem. And in this trailer, she doesn't, or teaser trailer, she doesn't specifically mention or implicate a gender for who the character she is searching for, but in the full one she does. So pay attention here. Because that's an incomplete. She's not finished talking, but she is for this trailer.
But first I need the one who can show me how.
The most vexing of human beings. I hate that sort of stuff. Like, what are you... Okay. November 7th is when RWBY Volume 8 is premiering. Let's see. That's not far from it at all. We're going to watch on roosterteeth.com because I don't think it's going to be on, what's the word I'm looking for? YouTube. At least for like maybe a year or two, because Volume 7 is not even on YouTube yet. So that was the teaser trailer. It was very short, only 44 seconds. I don't even know how much stuff I've had to say about it. But let's watch the full trailer. Let's watch it full one time and then break it down. Because it goes too quick for me to like give any sort of proper reaction.
This game is not
This
yours
game's
to
not
win.
yours to win.
It's mine.
Okay, Salem wants,
All you need concern
we see that
yourself
same
with is
shot.
your ability to act when
I
I
tell you to.
Without you, I am nothing. Atlas is only Salem's current target. Once she's done here, she'll move on to the rest of Remnant.
There are people here who need us right now.
We need to warn them.
And let's go for both. Get Amity up and running and evacuate Mantle.
But how?
Salem will destroy Atlas, and with it, any hope humanity has left.
See, we have the same shot. And we have that same quote. I mean, like it was a teaser trailer for the trailer, I guess.
I have questions for you.
Okay, pay attention here.
But first I need the one who can show me how.
We saw that now in the previous one.
Bring him to me.
So now we know it's the guy she's looking for. So that was 1 minute and 7 seconds. They go by really quickly. I expected, to be honest, I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but I think I had my hopes set too high because I wanted like a few minutes worth of trailer, right? And especially because the teaser trailer was just a shortened version of this one, and they're but like 20 seconds shorter and had a majority of the same content. It's like we didn't get that much more new info. So it was like, why not just combine them or like have lengthened the official trailer and then have the teaser trailer be like a little tease for something that more substantial. But that's up to the powers that be. We still got some new information, so I'm happy with that. Let's break this trailer down bit by bit.
This game is not yours to win.
This game is not yours to win.
It's mine.
You see Salem here with the chin.
All
It's
you
hers.
need concern yourself with is your ability to act when I tell
Clearly
you
she's
to.
talking to a subordinate, and that's
Without
made clear
you, I am nothing.
when Cinder replies, "Without you, I am nothing." That does allude. So we know Cinder is Cinderella, and Cinderella was nothing without her fairy godmother. Is Cinder fully dependent on Salem, or is she going to be betraying her? Is her ambition, like, if she has enough ambition to willingly like defile her body with a grim arm, if she has enough ambition to sort of change a fundamental and embrace the monstrosity of that and have it incorporated into her, if she has the ambition for power, the hunger for power to do that to her own self, is she willing to betray Salem? Will her ambition outgrow her need to obey Salem and be in Salem's good favor? That's a question I have, and I don't know why I just have this sort of impression of, I just thought of it like Cinder's grim arm. It's making me think that if she tries to betray Salem, Salem can just control the grim arm and choke Cinder to death or something. And it's giving me very much Harry Potter, Peter Pettigrew, silver arm thingy choking him to death type of thing. I wonder if they're gonna go that route. I wonder. But I'm just saying it out loud right there. Maybe it's gonna happen. If it does, I was the first one to say it. Probably. No, most likely. So here, Salem is just rebuking Cinder and telling her, basically lambasting her for her previous failures at Haven and changing the plan and all that sort of stuff. So she's essentially putting Cinder in her place. And Cinder has to take a big old slice of humble pie. So Salem has to put Cinder back in her place because she needs to know the hierarchy. And this is not about Cinder's pleasure or her wins or her ambitions. It's entirely about Salem's. And everything that Cinder will get will be through Salem. If Salem wins, then Cinder gets what she wants. If not, nobody gets nothing. And I believe she explicitly said so earlier back in like Volume 4. She's like, everything will happen through me. If like you guys will get what you want if I am successful in my endeavors. And Salem made that very clear, I believe. So right here, she had to put Cinder back in her place. Whether or not Cinder will stay there, I don't know. I kind of hope she doesn't. On the one hand, I don't want her to betray Salem because I want Cinder to be safe, because I like Cinder. On the other hand, I want Cinder to become more of her own character and perhaps another, like her own faction, and then hopefully bring Emerald and Mercury back into relevance again, because they're just sitting in Evernight Castle doing anything. I don't even know if we're going to see them in Volume 8. I kind of want to say no, but like hopefully, but most likely, you know what, I'll give that 50-50. Maybe we'll see them, maybe we won't. Who knows?
All you need concern yourself with is your ability to
Clover,
act when I
his emblem, and Crow is holding it. It's a nice touch that you can see the fingernails and how they're different than just if it were fully one form of flesh, you know what I mean? I think that's a new addition. Before, everybody just had finger blobs. They didn't have detailed fingernails, but now we can see that the animation has been upgraded. Maybe it's been there before and I just never noticed, but like if we compare it to the scene of him doing that in Volume 7 at the end, we can tell whether or not he had fingernails. But I'm usually kind of observant on this kind of stuff, these small little details, because whatever. And I've never noticed them before, and I feel like I would have picked up on that. So I think that that's a new touch to the animation, just a little further refinement. On the one hand, it looks nice. On the other, because it's like flesh colored and the same color as their flesh, it looks weird. So I think that's going to be a bit of time to get used to.
tell you to.
Without you, I am nothing.
That probably took a whole bunch of pride swelling for a Cinder to say, without you I am nothing. Because we know she's very prideful, very arrogant, very high self-esteem kind of character, right? She's probably even bordering on a narcissist. But I don't want to like throw around that term uncritically and like act like I know specifically the criteria for diagnosing somebody as a narcissist or whatever. But in layman's terms, like if we were to take the popular culture impression of what a narcissist is, Cinder would probably fit that. So for her to admit fault, or at least pretend to admit fault, probably causes her to burn up a lot. And she'll probably burst into flames with her mating powers or whatever. So are those survivor camps, or... Let's pause here. What is going on here? Chaos, it seems. I have zero idea what's going on here. I don't even know. Maybe this is a settlement. Maybe this has to do with the Schnee dust mines. Maybe Faunus are being, I was about to say executed, evacuated. Probably, let's see. Okay.
Is only Salem's current target.
So RWBY is doing some scoping out. We don't know why. Was that the Amity? So, oh, okay. So she's on Mantle and she's looking up at Atlas. We have some police brutality against Watts, and Jacques is just not happy about that. But like, what's he gonna do about it? Probably get his ass beat too. So never a fan of police brutality. Okay.
Once she's done,
Nora is about to use Magnahild as a conduit so she can get electricity. And we have Tyrion. I'm torn on him because originally I hated him. Everything about him. His voice, his acting, his mannerisms, his weapons, his being this generic, psychotic, crazy kind of guy. You know what I mean? I hated that. I hated everything about him and how he just laughs maniacally because, oh, look at me, I'm a psycho type of thing, right? It was very, very poorly done in my opinion. And I hate that he killed Clover. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that so much. But lately, inexplicably, I've been warming up to Tyrion, and I don't like that. Like, I'm starting to find him a little bit compelling. And I don't know why, and I don't like it, and I'm not sure what's going to happen in Volume 8 if I'm going to become a Tyrion stan, which I really hope I'm not. Because he killed my boy Clover. Like, me and him were beefing. Like, it's for life. It's on sight. If I see him, it's done. It's over. Game over for Tyrion. Or me, probably, because he's a serial killer. So here, his little ugly ass, and I hate his ponytail, and whatever. Just have to pause to stare at him in distaste.
remnant.
There are people.
Okay, so I already talked about this scene. I think that this probably, maybe, is either someone, like, this looks like a very industrialized, like, scientific kind of place. So I think that maybe Penny knows who the person is. Maybe Team RWBY is, and Nora. Maybe they are not willing to let anybody get in their way. Maybe they think the person is loyal to Ironwood, and Penny is not so sure, and Penny has a personal bond with them or knows who this person is. I kind of think it's Watts because of the connection between Watts and Penny's father, Pietro, and maybe Penny believes him to be a good man because Pietro would only ever say probably good things about. He doesn't seem like the type of person to talk shit. So he's a good-natured, jolly old man. So I think that Penny probably doesn't have any sort of negative connotations with Watts aside from him doctoring the footage, but I don't know if she knows that. Yeah, I can't remember that. Well, she probably does, because I think Weiss found out, right, during the whole dinner party, because her mom handed her the win.
Here who need us.
So we see Vine Zeki in a sort of whirlwind, and he has his weapon, which I don't think he's used at all before. And he's moving very similarly in the way Yang moved when she tossed his ass to the ground. Love it.
Right now.
Yang, I don't know if Yang would be the team leader for here, because it kind of feels like she is. But also Jean is usually a team leader for Juniper, and Juniper 2, which is what I call Jean, Nora, Pine, or Oscar, and Ren. I call them Juniper 2, like the number 2. So I don't call them Team Juniper because I feel like that would be disrespectful to Pyrrha. So Juniper 2, like the version 2.0, is what their team name is for me. Yang is terrified for some reason. We see Grimm. I don't think she's going to be terrified of Grimm, so there has to be some other sort of explanation.
And let's go for
Jean
both.
says, let's go for both. So let's... Okay, Jean. Realistically, I don't think that's going to work. Because you guys are already stretched thin. Salem is at the doors of Atlas. And I don't think she's knocking. I think she's barging in with her giant-ass whale Grimm. And I'm not sure. You guys don't have the manpower to evacuate all the citizens, as well as... what's the other thing?
Get Amity up and running and evacuate Mantle.
Warn the other people. And getting Amity up and running. So getting Amity up and running, as well as Amity Arena, or Amity Coliseum, or whatever it is. I get confused between them. And he literally just said the other one. And warning people? Or evacuating. So getting Amity Coliseum up and running, as well as evacuating other people. You don't have the manpower to do that. And you didn't have it before. And I understand, like, it's more important now than ever for you to achieve both. I just don't know how you guys are going to do it. I'm rooting for you. I want you to do it. But I don't know how if it's realistic. But let's see. Nora just powered
Get
the hell
Amity up and running and evacuate Mantle.
Ironwood has a new arm. I love
Salem
the
will
heartbeat.
destroy Atlas, and with it,
the scene
any
changed
hope
the heartbeat. Love
humanity has left.
Okay, so let's pause. Ironwood has a brand new arm. It is black this time around. It kind of fits his weapon themes, because one arm is, I don't know what his other arm is. I think it's just normal silver or metal or gray or whatever. And the other one is black, so it kind of fits his weapons. Like Due Process, I think, is the name of one of them. I don't know if it's both. Maybe one's name is Due, the other name is Process. But one of his guns are white and one of his guns are black. So I feel like this is, it makes sense. And if we're jumping down the rabbit hole and going to screwball territory and just assuming stuff randomly because of symbolism, maybe this is symbolizing that Ironwood has a very black and white worldview of things. And so one arm is white or silver, one arm is black. One arm is light, one arm is dark. One weapon is light, one weapon is dark. He's literally becoming, or maybe he's been consumed by darkness. Maybe this is a heel face turn. Maybe this is emblematic of him slowly becoming more antagonistic in nature. Like, he's already an antagonist, clearly. But is he going to be like an out and out villain? I mean, he shot Oscar, he shot a child. I don't know. But we see, okay, so we see Ironwood looking in a window through to the Ace Ops, and what looks like a form covered by either bag or a sheet, most likely Clover's body, but there also seems to be one behind him. So I'm going to assume that the Ace Ops are looking at Clover's corpse, and Ironwood is in the room with Winter because she needed medical attention. So that's the version of events I'm going with. Let's see if that plays out.
Salem will destroy.
Okay. So we see the Ace Ops again. They're being very, what's the word I'm looking for? Professionally dispassionate. So maybe they know about Clover's death. Maybe the scene we just saw a second ago happened before this scene, or maybe it's going to happen after. We don't know because they change orders of stuff around. Marrow is Best Buy, by the way.
Destroy Atlas, and with it,
And we see Cinder staring down. And we see Cinder staring down at Atlas. I don't know where from. It doesn't seem like she's on the direction. It doesn't seem like she's on Salem's giant whale Grimm, because the Grimm are all flying from one direction, I believe. The Grimm are all flying from one direction. Or are they flying in separate? It was too quick to see, but it feels like they're coming from the left side. So I'm assuming that's where Salem's giant whale is, and Cinder is just off on a giant cliff somewhere else, staring down, or a mountaintop maybe, staring down Atlas as it gets raided and destroyed and pillaged by Salem's forces, the Grim. But as it's raided and pillaged and destroyed by Salem's forces, the Grim.
Any hope
And again, here we have the
humanity has left.
same scene. I wonder how many times we're gonna see Penny do the eye glow up thing. I can't tell if this is 3D or 2D, because I feel like it's 2D. And I love that they incorporate 2D and 3D, so I'm a big fan of that. I know some people really dislike it and think it's disgusting, but I'm a fan.
I have questions for you.
I have questions for you too. What are you gonna ask?
But first I need the one who can show me how.
Bring him to me. Okay, so that's all I have to think about. That's all I have to say. That's all I'm able to process right now. I think that Oster is going to be kidnapped. I think that the Aesops were looking over on Clover's corpse. I think that Ironwood was in the room with Winter. I think that Team RWBY plus Nora and Penny minus Yang were probably going to cooperate or like coerce or deal with or fight Watts. And what else? Let me skip through this trailer to see. I think Cinder might betray Salem, but I kind of hope she does, kind of hope she doesn't. And that's about it. So if you like what you see, please join me for watching Volume 8 and my thoughts and everything, and watch RWBY Rewatch, because I have a lot to say about that as well. And yeah, follow me over on Twitter at Mookies with a Z, Moukiez. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, friend.